Hello and welcome to BizWatch News in 5 minutes, where we bring you Nigeria's latest business and economic news stories. My name is Oluwatoyin Akonde, and here are the top news stories as the week winds down. The headlines. Federal government approves new debt management strategy for 2024 to 2027. ASU protests erupt on campuses ahead of talks with federal government. Nigeria's debt burden deepens as ratio to GDP hits 52.2%. Nigeria ranks amongst leading drivers as Chinese exports to Africa exceed $122 billion in 2025. Trump's 50% tariffs on Indian goods take effect, raising trade tensions. And now, the news in details. The federal government has approved Nigeria's medium-term debt management strategy for 2024 to 2027, designed to strengthen fiscal stability, ensure debt sustainability, and deepen the domestic securities markets. The Debt Management Office confirmed that the framework was endorsed by the Federal Executive Council and developed with technical input from the World Bank and International Monetary Fund. According to the DMO, the strategy seeks to balance government financing needs with sustainability considerations while minimizing borrowing costs and associated risks. The Academic Staff Union of Universities has staged coordinated protests across campuses nationwide, pressing long-standing demands from the federal government just 2 days before a decisive meeting scheduled for later in the week in Abuja. From Obafemi Awolowo University, University of Calabar, Federal University of Technology Akure, Abia State University, and others, lecturers marched with placards chanting solidarity songs and warning of an imminent strike if government inaction continued. Core demands included implementation of the 2009 ASU FGN agreement, release of 3.5 months withheld salaries, payment of outstanding 25-35% salary arrears and promotion arrears, revitalization of universities, rejection of the proposed tertiary institution staff loan scheme, and adoption of UTAS in place of IPPIS to protect university autonomy. Nigeria's debt challenge has entered a new phase. By the end of 2024, the country's debt to GDP ratio climbed to 52.25%, a sharp rise that not only breached the federal government's self-imposed threshold of 40%, but also reignited long-standing concerns about fiscal sustainability. The latest figures captured in the Debt Management Office Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy 2024 to 2027 mark a steep departure from recent history. Barely 5 years ago, in 2019, Nigeria's debt stock represented just 19% of GDP. By 2023, the ratio had risen to 40.5%. Today, it sits closer to levels that were once considered unthinkable. Africa has rapidly become one of the fastest growing destinations for Chinese exports, with Nigeria, South Africa, and Egypt standing out as the top drivers of demand. This surge has significantly reshaped Beijing's trade strategy at a time when escalating US tariffs continue to disrupt global commerce. Data from Nigeria's National Bureau of Statistics indicates that China emerged as the country's largest import partner in Q1 2025, highlighting a strong concentration of imports from a few dominant economies. During this period, goods worth 4.66 trillion naira were imported from China, representing 30.19% of Nigeria's total imports. However, this marks a decline from the 14.14 trillion naira recorded in Q4 2024, reflecting a slight contraction in quarterly trade volumes. And on the global scene, United States President Donald Trump's decision to impose tariffs of up to 50% on Indian goods took effect on Wednesday, heightening trade frictions between Washington and New Delhi despite their deepening strategic ties. The new levy combines an earlier 25% duty on a wide range of Indian exports with an additional 25% penalty linked to India's continued purchases of Russian oil. The measure now affects affects key exports such as garments, gems and jewelry, footwear, sporting goods, furniture and chemicals, placing India among countries facing the steepest US tariff rates alongside China and Brazil. And that's all we have for the week on BizWatch News in 5 minutes. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to stay updated on Nigeria's latest business and economic news stories. My name is Oluwatoyin Akonde and I'll see you next week.